There's no better feeling than a personal win, and the State Farm Personal Price Plan can help you do just that. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
And now, live from the TCL broadcast studios, it's Joe Souchere and Patrick Royce with Sports Talk.
Fantastic.
Do you want to describe our guests?
Well, two great Americans. Mm-hmm. My old running mate, Jerry Holt. Jerry Holt and I did Willie Mays together. That was one of the thrills of our lives, 90 minutes with the supposedly difficult to get along with Willie Mays, except Jerry. We got Jerry out there, and Jerry could talk a little Alabama, Mississippi with Willie, and we had him locked. He had him tied, bound, and locked up by the time I even got to the Willie Mays suite. It was fantastic.
I had Willie at one point, and he was great.
We had him for 90 minutes, and they told me going in I'd be lucky to get 15. He was great. But Jerry, what we found out is if you get Willie talking about Willie, he can go, man. If you get Willie talking about how great Willie was, he was pretty damn good. And Neil Justin, who covers TV and media and all that good stuff for the Star Tribune. You've been at it a while, too, sir.
25 years.
Holy cow. Well, that's good.
It occurs to me that I'm not going to come off too well in these photos in my mini chair.
Your mini chair, but I think that we don't. I wore my normal, very high class T-shirt, and you're still in your mini chair. So that's that is a mystery for the ages of what your fondness for the mini chair is. Have we ever figured that out?
I haven't. I don't know. I don't know why it started. Say,
yes, sir.
You didn't like that kid's debut last night, I bet, huh?
Oh man. I was hurrying to get home. In fact, I was going to stop and go to the game, and then it was raining, so I said, to heck with it. Thank goodness for the rain. I didn't have to show up and watch that damn thing. He was brutal and doesn't throw very hard, does not throw that many strikes. There was nothing really to recommend last night. He's got to be better than that when you look at his minor league stats.
Well, he didn't get a lot of help either in the field. There was some terrible blown plays.
I wouldn't say anything that was that awful.
How about a pop up to first base?
Well,
three guys surrounded.
That was true. Yeah. That was true. But by then he'd gotten himself in so damn much difficulty. It was unbelievable.
But you think he'll stay with the club now? Till the end of the year.
If he makes another lousy start, they might send him back for another week. Yeah. Wait. We're only. September 1st, the rosters expand. So I suppose if he makes one more start, then he stays, yeah. Mm-hmm. I feel sorry for the 25 families and friends who fly in for the Major League debut to see our guy, Steven, and he goes inning in a third. That's not what you're looking for when you fly in with all your buddies to
Jerry, does it
celebrate.
Look like I've shrunk sitting in this chair? I got to bring the chair up. How about that? Here, I'm sitting like a normal person now.
People have been known to trip over that chair, ladies and gentlemen, the little tiny chair. That's Rook, have you ever figured out where the little tiny chair comes from?
I've figured out that the little tiny chair comes from different studios. If it's not here, he's hey, where's the at 12:58? Where's my chair can be heard almost daily. But I think somebody's playing a prank on you, taking it out and sending it to different parts.
Well, we're not going on the air without it. So.
Right. We cannot.
You and Mackie. Mackie had the one that he was in love with.
Yes.
That I hated. It was no arms and stuff.
I don't do that.
So it was about 3 years ago, I went and hid it in another part of the building, took it in the elevator, put it up, back with all those old lousy chairs up on the top floor, and he found the damn thing. Then I called his gal and said, you know what we got to do? Some Saturday I'm going to bring it over and we're going to hide it. And when he opens up his apartment door, there's going to be his chair, but it didn't. We never got around to
I'm a big fan of the WNBA playoff format.
One and done?
I'm serious. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, well,
it forces you to watch that game if you have any interest.
Yeah, it's like the baseball wild card, except they do it for 2 rounds.
Yeah.
They changed it I think just last year, maybe the year before, because they used to make it a little more complicated. Now they just go 1 through 8. You know, they don't care what conference you're in or what division you're in. They just go 1 through 8.
What are the links? 7?
Yeah, it's been a very disappointing last run here for the old gals. The grandmas have kind of all, Linda Whalen's done, and Augustus isn't what she was, and Rebecca Brunson's been hurt most of the year. The crew that won all the championships has been banged up a little, but they can win tonight because they have the best center in women's basketball, and Sylvia Fowles, and then they also have, of course, Maya Moore, who's the best player around when she's making shots. She's something.
Do they have? Is it cost effective for them to have one and done? Aren't they making any money if they have even a 3-game series?
That's why I applaud them. Apparently, they're not worried about it.
Well. The WNBA is not nobody's getting rich on it anyway.
Right.
So the NBA owners
just kind of a write-off, huh?
Yes, and they have to get the season done so the young ladies can go to their full-time jobs playing in Europe and Asia.
Okay.
What are the highest paid players in the WNBA make?
100.5, maybe.
Was Lindsay 100.5?
I don't think so. I don't think
she got to 100.
She'll be making a lot more coaching the Gopher women than she was playing. And she probably made 100, 110. Something
when she took the Gopher job, did she know she was leaving the Lynx?
I think she did, but she didn't announce it. But I think she was probably knew that this was the last year. She slowed down a lot. Mm-hmm. And it's
what is
came
she
along
now,
at a perfect
35?
time. You know who first proposed that, don't you?
Propose what?
The Fixer.
Lindsay.
You?
The Fixer.
The Fixer.
On Twitter.
Really?
The day that they got rid of the other gal went to Texas Tech, much to the delight of everyone at the university, even though she had a good year last year. Marlene Stallings. I had it out there. Next coach, Lindsay Whalen. Greatest marketing thing of all time.
One of the few ideas you proposed that actually took.
Yes. Most of our ideas through the years haven't worked too well.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you something else about the Lynx.
Yes.
It'll come to me. I don't know when.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad to see you getting Lynx fever very late.
I don't even know if I have the fever. I just like the fact that they have a 1-game playoff. I think that's fantastic.
Yes. Well, so you like the baseball wild card one?
I'll take the baseball wild card. All right. Yeah. I don't think our Twins will.
I don't think we'll be back in there this time. No, I don't. I don't think we will. But looks good for second place because everybody else really stinks. Although tonight they're going to face this White Sox phenom, Michael Kopech, who throws over 100 routinely as a starting pitcher. He's the big prize that they got in the Chris Sale trade with Boston. And they actually have some excitement on the south side of Chicago because this kid's starting tonight. I don't know if it means anybody's going to come to the game, but he's supposed to be something.
Well, the White Sox, by White Sox standards, are hot right now.
Well, they won 1 in a row.
I think they've won 11 out of 14, something like that.
Yeah, they've not. They have a fairly decent young nucleus that's probably in better shape for the next 5 years than the Twins are. But they started off terrible this year. So
I just find it so terribly unnerving to have people in here. I can't think straight. You got a newspaper photographer and a newspaper reporter.
Well, and that's
you guys should be in your element.
That's because this show is so immaculately prepared. It's throwing you off your game.
It really is. Did you guys get a picture of Rook yet?
We're good. We're good. He took one look at me and he said, "I think we're okay."
You still haven't gotten a haircut. The offer's still out there.
And we're not doing it at the fair.
We're not doing a haircut at the fair.
Did you hear what happened to our guy Manny?
No.
Had his billfold stolen.
No.
You know what Manny told me? He said that usually when he leaves his billfold in the car at night, he puts it in down in the crack of the seat where, on the side there that nobody can see it.
Yeah.
But this time he didn't do that, and somebody got in and got it. I had a really novel suggestion.
I
Take
think
it in the house with you.
That would have been mine.
Don't leave it in the car.
Bring it in.
That was my suggestion.
Bring it in.
Yes, that's true.
Plus, don't leave money in your wallet.
No, he didn't. He didn't have a money problem, but he lost all the
But
other
his
stuff.
credit card.
What do you mean? Don't leave money in your wallet?
Put your money in your pocket.
Oh, okay. But you carry cash. You're like me.
Yeah, I'm a cash guy, but I'm not leaving it in my wallet. Because I got a little teeny wallet now. I don't carry my wallet in my back pocket.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just a little sleeve to hold the.
That's good for the fair. Cause
Did you used to have the Georgie Costanza wallet where it
giant one?
wouldn't close, and you had J.C. Penney receipts from 15 years ago?
Had a chain attached to it.
Yes.
Kept it in the back pocket.
Times have changed.
Can you take us to a break,
I
please?
can do that.
All right. See, I want to promote something.
Yes.
This Saturday, John Allen at the Bar Harbor Supper Club on Gull Lake.
Gull Lake, yes.
And the Bob Speltz Land O'Lakes chapter of the Antique and Classic Boat Society. The Gull Lake Boat Show this year is Gold Cup and race boat regatta boats. And it's truly going to be extraordinary. I bet they'll be doing flybys.
No,
and
these are the
noise.
ones that used to go down the Detroit River about 700 miles an hour, and people would kill themselves.
Listen
right?
to these names: Miss Detroit, Apache, Baby Bootlegger, Greenwich Folly, Baby Horace, Bolo Babe, Miss Mary, Blackjack, TJ9, Curtis Wilgold III, Miss Crude, Miss America the Ninth. I'm going to miss some. Scotty. Yes,
Such.
huh?
Are these all survivors? These once race? No, I'm serious. Did they all once race? Or
Yes.
are these?
Yes.
Is it
all restored, of course.
Some of the ones that didn't blow up and break into hundreds of pieces.
Yeah.
That
Kenny,
friends
this is
didn't have to
incredible.
help them flip the boats over at their house in the driveway?
How long are these boats, and what kind of horsepower are the engines? Are they inboard or
Oh, yeah, they're
outboard or?
You've seen the races on the river, the Detroit River. Seattle has one of those. They have these.
Well, I've seen the new ones. I've never seen the vintage.
Used to be incredibly dangerous. I don't know if it still is.
Oh,
They used
yes.
to kill each other routinely.
No,
Here's
it's-
baby.
it
Here's
still is.
Blackjack, a 1926 Hackercraft with a Scripps 125 horsepower 6 in line.
Is Miss Detroit, is it spelled Miss Detroit or is it Misty Detroit?
No,
The
Miss
boat
Detroit.
always had a female name, I believe.
Here's Miss Crude, a 1926 Pembroke 27-foot Gold Cup race boat. Hispano Suiza 300 horsepower V8.
So, Such, did the manufacturers, the factories, have their own teams,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
were they just providing?
Well, Chris
for,
Kraft would have a team, and Hacker would have a team, and Garwood would have a
and
team.
then independent guys
Yeah.
would also buy these boats
Yeah.
and convert them to race boats.
Garwood was our guy, right? He was a
Garwood was a
Minnesota guy.
Minnesotan, yeah.
They used
That's
to down on the Mississippi River. When you look back in the 20s and 30s when we were very hard up for entertainment because you didn't have television, you didn't have Desperate Housewives anymore. They used to have race boats on the river down. They'd draw 100,000 people that stand up. On
I got a story about that.
Yeah.
Why did they always have to have them named after women, though?
That'll be something you can spend, after September 7th, you can spend a lot of time looking that up.
But if you had like a feminine boat, like a masculine, like, this is my boat, David.
No,
this
no,
is Mr. David.
No.
But if you're looking for some entertainment Saturday,
What is your story? These dummies derailed you.
well, the old man had a little Lyman outboard with a 25 horsepower Evinrude on it, and he put the family in it. However many members of the family existed in 1955 or whatever year it was, and he's on the Mississippi to watch a race boat regatta.
Okay.
Didn't pay any attention to what he was doing and got into the middle of the course. There he is, where my mother
With
is
the old
screaming at him to get the hell out of there. He can't maneuver his way out. He's got to stay there till the end of the race. And they're spinning around us the whole way.
Oh my goodness, her Virginia Slim soaking wet.
That's right.
That's what she was most upset about.
Yes,
The kids learning new curse words by the second.
This is Baby Bootlegger by Henry B. Nevins, a 29-foot, 10-inch Gold Cup race boat with a Hispano Suiza 220 horsepower V8.
Okay.
They're all going to be there, Kenny.
Wow.
Yeah, Saturday at Gull Lake at Bar Harbor.
Bahaba.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny, when did you and Yates get fired here? On a Thursday. What year?
How do you know it was a Thursday?
Because we were going up to Gull Lake for the drag races with Yates and Kevin. The next day, we went
car drag race.
The car drag.
No
race.
kidding.
Yes, the next day, and Bob was in a somewhat bad mood because you guys got fired on Thursday, and we went up there Friday, and the highlight was I had to stay and cover the races.
Yeah.
So they were going to come and watch the start of the races on Sunday, and then leave. And I was going to stay and drive down, and my wife was telling him how to get back where the media parking lot was. And all of a sudden, she had Yates lined up to drag race. Already in a bad mood, and now he was ready to take on John Force.
It was 92 or 93.
Yeah, whatever year that was.
Yeah.
It was 93.
That was
93,
that was an
okay.
ill-timed weekend vacation in Brainerd, I'll tell you that.
Well, did he get out of the line or did he go for it?
I think he got out of the line.
The Honda Civic or whatever he was driving.
I think he was in a Porsche, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he had that little
That might have been why
911.
that might have been why they kept waving him up there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it dark blue?
Yeah, little 911.
I do remember that
Yeah.
now.
Rode like a hay rack. Most uncomfortable car ever.
Yeah. Well,
But
Kenny, you're
boy,
just jealous.
You weren't with him.
Very, very jealous, yes.
You weren't with him at the old folks music station, were you?
No.
Okay.
No, I wasn't.
I
Club
listened to
14.
I listened to that one afternoon just to see what Yates was up to, and he played White Christmas. And he introduced it by saying, now to the audience, they're all 80 years old, he introduced it by saying, Bing used to like to play this song before he beat up the kids. And he said he liked to put oranges in a towel so there won't be any bruises. And I was thinking, he ain't going to be here next week.
Right.
He's already in. He was gone about 3 days
That
later.
was actually after we did a year at the Fan.
Oh, really? That was his last job?
Yeah, we got fired in July, and by the end of August, September 1st, we were on the air at the Fan, and that was a year in hell. Mm-hmm. It was an awful place to work at that point. It was actually right across the freeway from here on Frontenac Place, really close to
where
the
the
river.
tower was.
Yeah, there's still a tower over there and a radio station
Is
there.
that what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were in the basement, and when it rained, the carpet was sopping wet.
Gross.
It was really interesting working there. Yeah, they were on some lean times in those days.
I can verify that it was 93 because I was called. I had just gotten married, and I was called to fill in for you or be your temporary replacement on the morning show. And that's when they brought in Never Hurts with Mertz, Freddie Mertz. Never Hurts with Mertz.
And the body, too.
And the body after Freddie Mertz had his little stint.
Well, anywho, it was...
And here we are.
It was, here it is. Well,
We're being chronicled right now.
yeah.
By
How does this make you feel?
not good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We'll be back shortly.
Get a haircut.
Yes. See?
Almighty.
But now, thanks to our great friends
I got
in
20
Owatonna.
for you.
You
Want
do
a
you?
20?
I'll take the 20
want
for the
a 20
haircut. Yeah,
if
you
get the
bet. At this
haircut?
point in my life,
Thanks
yes.
to our great friends in Owatonna,
Unemployment.
Minnesota, at Federated Insurance, where it's their business to protect your business, and nobody does that better than Federated. It's Bruce Vail and Your Money Now.
Well, stocks closed higher again today, though the gains were trimmed quite a bit late in the trading session. At one point today, the Dow Industrials did pull out of correction territory for the first time in 6 months. The Dow slid back a bit and gained 63 points, closing at 25,822. The Nasdaq Composite rose 38 points. The S&P 500 gained 5 points. J.P. Morgan Chase & Company is rolling out a new investing service for customers that will offer at least 100 free stock trades for 1 year with no account minimums. The new service could force rivals like Charles Schwab and TD Ameritrade to further cut their trading fees. If you're famous and posted something offensive on social media, media, even if it was years ago, someone's going to find it. That was the case when someone uncovered some offensive tweets Milwaukee Brewers pitcher Josh Hader posted while he was in high school. They came out during the All-Star game. In the wake of that incident, the Major League Baseball Players Association is now asking agents to examine whether anything their clients posted on social media might be considered hurtful or offensive, and if they do find something, remove it. The union also expects to address the topic of previous social media behavior at the agent meetings in the fall and in the Rookie Career Development Program this winter. I'm Bruce Vail with your Money Now on 1500 ESPN.
That rule doesn't count for traffic guys on the list, does it?
You can post whatever you want.
Okay, thank you. We're going to let you go, Bruce. Check traffic here, and we'll start with westbound 694. We are seeing building levels now between 35W and 100. That travel time, though, staying right around the 10-minute mark. If you're between...
.com.
Thank you, Joe. It's cloudy and 75 degrees. Twins and White Sox tonight in Chicago. The Twins will be facing one of the top prospects in all of baseball. Michael Kopech will pitch for the White Sox, making his major league debut. Jose Barrios pitches for the Twins.
We're going with Kopech and not Kopech.
It is Kopech. I
Kopech.
verified that
thank you.
First with our White Sox fan, and then I went online and watched some old YouTube minor league broadcasts where he pitched.
Very good.
Kopech.
Mm-hmm. That is good journalistic research, John.
Yeah.
Can I put it in park for a second here? How come you two clowns didn't get your guest headphones so they can listen to the broadcast? They're sitting there
because
having
Ozzy came in here. What's the guy's name?
Having no idea what we're saying.
Somebody took a pair.
Yeah, I never thought of that. That's a good.
So they're getting one side of the conversation.
You called him Ozzy?
You called him Ozzy, Doogie. That was close.
Fozzie the Bear, like the Muppet?
Close enough. Okay. Doogie knows that I meant Doogie.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. I'm sorry.
The Lynx open up the playoffs tonight. They need to win if they want to keep on playing. They're playing the LA Sparks. First two rounds of the WNBA playoffs are one game, win or go home. If they do win tonight, the Lynx would go cross-country to either Washington, D.C. or Connecticut for another single elimination game on Thursday night. A win there, the Lynx would then begin a best-of-5 league semifinal on the road on Sunday. News notes from today: law enforcement will hold a press conference in about a half an hour about where we will learn much more. The body of missing college student Molly Tibbetts found today, and according to her father and two sources, brings to an end an intensive search that lasted more than a month and captured national headlines. Tibbetts' father, Rob Tibbetts, said the body found is that of his 20-year-old daughter who vanished in mid-July. Tibbetts, a University of Iowa student, was reported missing after she failed to respond to messages from her boyfriend and did not show up for work. Last seen jogging around Brooklyn around 7:30 p.m. July 18th, was staying with her boyfriend and working while home from school over the summer. She would have started her junior year of college this week. Again, that press conference is at 4 o'clock our time.
John, what are they? Who are they talking about for suspects?
They have said nothing, basically, at this point about suspects. And we don't know what they're going to say at 4 because they've been very tight-lipped.
They started a GoFundMe page that's got about $400,000 and are now attempting to use that to lure someone into talking.
And how did they find her?
We don't know anything.
We know nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They just we know that they found her.
Found in a rural area in the same county she lived in.
Her Twitter account is still up. It's eerie going to that. I mean, if you search her name on Twitter or for news items, her Twitter account comes up, and that's weird.
Farmington Police Chief Brian Lindquist was dismissed from the job last night by the city council despite loud objections of more than 200 residents who rallied in support of the chief. The residents, spilling out into the hallway and watching the meeting on a TV screen, told stories of their positive encounters with Lindquist. Several shouted their disapproval over council members. Council member Katie Burnham offered an explanation why the city had asked Lindquist to step down, citing past demonstrations of what she called poor leadership. She said the chief had missed meetings, failed to communicate, and made decisions without consulting the council. The council narrowly approved a separation agreement with the chief, who has held the position for 12 years. Addressing the crowd, Lindquist said he wasn't happy about the decision, but that he would now go on to the next chapter in his life.
Who did he give a speeding ticket to that was a friend of somebody on the council?
Microsoft said today it's uncovered new Russian hacking attempts targeting U.S. political groups ahead of the midterm elections. The company said a hacking group tied to the Russian government created fake internet domains that appeared to spoof two American conservative organizations, the Hudson Institute and the International Republican Institute. Other fake domains were designed to look as if they belonged to the U.S. Senate. Moscow is denying Microsoft's assertions. The Reuters news agency quotes Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov as remarking to reporters on a conference call, "We don't know what hackers they're talking about. Who exactly are they talking about? We don't understand what the proof is and the basis of them for drawing these kinds of conclusions."
Comrade,
Yes.
it will be okay.
Comrade Suchere has a question here.
No, I was thinking.
Observation.
No, do you recall when the two women lost their lives when a landscaping rock bounced into their vehicle?
Yes.
I was thinking it was Lindquist we talked to, but now I'm thinking it might have been the Rosemount police chief. It was either Lindquist or the Rosemount police
I believe
chief.
it was Rosemount.
All right.
Yeah. Pope Francis expected to meet with the victims of clergy's sexual abuse in his upcoming trip to Ireland, the Vatican making that announcement today. The timing of the meeting will not be publicized until it's over, and it'll be up to the victims to determine if they'd like to speak afterwards. That, according to Vatican spokesperson Greg Burke, priestly sex abuse was always expected to dominate the Pope's trip to Ireland, once staunchly Roman Catholic country where the Church's credibility has been hurt by years of revelations that priests molested children with impunity and that their superiors covered it up. The issue has taken on new gravity following revelations here in the U.S. that one of Francis's trusted cardinals, the retired Archbishop of Washington, Theodore McCarrick, allegedly sexually abused and harassed minors and adult seminarians.
When you get to the funny stuff, Johnny, you're doing a very poor job today. You haven't really given me many chuckles.
This stuff makes me feel bad, John.
Mm-hmm. This is our serious segment.
Okay.
The next segment is the.
Okay, we'll get wacky.
You got through one more gloom and doom, and you're set to go, I think.
How about, let's see, America's wealthy households are increasingly moving to coastal cities on both sides of the country. That's not very happy either because it says those
they
are
aren't
Terribly
moving-
depressing,
I
John.
hope they aren't moving to the beach in Fort Myers. I see dolphins on the beach dead. Thinking rotten dolphins.
Red tide's killing them.
dolphins.
That doesn't draw them in, does it?
It's fading out, though. They're going to get back to normal pretty
We're
quick.
rooting for a hurricane down there to get rid of the dead fish.
Yeah, but maybe you're looking at this wrong, Royce, because up at the farm, the smell of manure, to me, keeps the Sidiots away.
It certainly
It's
does.
the smell of freedom that means the Sidiots are going to leave us alone. Maybe
What is the
smell of
material
freedom?
you're referring to?
manure. It's called manure.
MANER.
Yeah, and that's what dead dolphins are for you. They're keeping the morons and the Sidiots and the,
And a lot of the times you
But
can.
they're also keeping the people who are from down there away from the beach.
But when you see the manure, how it arrives,
Manure.
Somebody has a job, and his job is to drive truck.
That's right.
He will deliver the manure.
Anchorage, Alaska police are looking for a man who dumped fish heads in the woods near an elementary school. The reason this causes concern,
yeah, why is that illegal?
Let me guess.
yeah,
It'll attract bears.
well, it already did.
Okay.
A grizzly bear.
How's that for a idiot?
My hillbilly hat is off to you, sir.
A grizzly bear took care of the cleanup. The fish dumper, however, still faces a $300 fine for discarding garbage that attracts animals. Alaska families regularly catch dozens of salmon and are urged to properly dispose of fish parts in fast-moving rivers, ocean waters, or regular garbage disposal. This incident occurred July 31st at Ravenwood Elementary School. Summer school host spotted a man and a boy in an all-terrain vehicle with coolers. The host found the fish heads behind the school, but they were gone a day later.
Do you think he was doing it because he wanted to see the kids get eaten, or did he just want to get rid of
Just
the
wanted to
fish
get rid of them, I'm sure.
Okay.
It's like our guy here. We're going to get rid of 300 crappie heads, and nobody will notice.
The host said a bear seen earlier likely cleaned up the fish. A school security camera captured the suspect's image. They're still looking for
And
the
this
man.
is a nationwide story.
Yes,
This
it is.
It's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Well, getting at by a bear is pretty much the price of poker if you're going to live in Alaska. Right?
Well, Patrick, a wiser man than me once said, sometimes you eat the bar,
Yes.
sometimes the bar eats you.
Right movie, wrong cut.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Close enough.
There is a hotel on Boston Harbor where a rather humorous video was made this past week. A couple were dancing right on the waterfront there, and you can hear the song Footloose playing in the background. Mm-hmm. The unidentified couple got too close to the protective rope, tumbled a short distance into the water below. Sure. Mm-hmm. Alex Day.
Did they die?
No, they didn't die, so
right.
we can giggle. We can giggle. Alex Day shared cell phone video of the fall, said it happened around 9:30 at night one night last week. They said the couple was able to quickly get out of the water. No emergency response was needed. Day said everybody who watched it appeared to be shocked by the fall, tried to help out before the couple got out of the water.
Way back in the 70s, I was eating in one of those restaurants right down there on Boston Harbor. Damn near fell in the harbor, but it had nothing to do with dancing.
It might have been gin.
Where's my hotel? More weaving and falling. I think that might have been the day that Ferguson Jenkins got us the game over at 12:59 a.m. and the bars weren't going to close for 13 hours. It was dangerous.
The game was over by when?
It was Patriots Day.
Patriots.
Oh my God!
Boston,
12:59.
12:59, 1 p.m.
p.m. Yeah, 12:59 p.m. And the bars didn't close till 2.
John, Rook, you take us to break, and I bet John will have more for us.
We have a... What happened?
Oh, we're back. We're back on the air.
No, don't talk about that.
I don't know what I missed.
Yeah, it's probably best.
Yeah, thanks.
Movement.
Next door to us,
Yes.
we have a new record. A Wisconsin water skiing team borrowed members from 2 other teams to form an 80-person human pyramid on the water.
What boat were they using to pull that?
Oh, God, he goes right to the only question I don't have an answer.
The one that Bud Sushra had on the river with the family with that 25 horse.
Think about that, Such. That's a huge inboard. Such?
Probably didn't have
I'm just thinking about how I wouldn't want to be on the top of the 80.
Well, you want to be on the bottom?
I don't want to be on any part of it.
The Rock Aqua Jays said team members, along with members of the Aquanauts and Web Footers water skiing teams, formed the 80-person human pyramid on the water in Janesville, and the group held together for a distance of 1,148 feet, beating by about 500 feet the old record that was in Guinness.
Well, how did they disassemble without hurting each other?
They just jump, right?
Just fall off, right? I mean,
Yeah, I think you just start falling away.
Team said they took an initial run with 70 people, beating the previous Guinness record of 64 before they beat their own record with 10 more people added on top. Rock Aqua Jays spokesperson Kevin Ostermeyer said documentation from the event has been submitted to Guinness. The team expects their record to be certified in about
No, you've got to have numerous.
We got to know what the boat is.
You know, don't you have to have numerous boats to line everybody up? I mean, because
Reavers, get on it.
Yep. The first boat, let's say
he's busy on Facebook.
Let's say the first boat starts out with 30 skiers, and then there's other boats that pull up next, and these skiers drop their line and jump up on the other guys in the pyramid.
You're
right?
out of your mind.
Yeah.
No, you've seen how
This
they
pulled
do
80
this.
people out of the water.
No,
It was
no,
a
they
Titanic.
didn't. No. There's no boat capable of that.
That's why I want to know the boat.
You know what I want to know is what happened to water skiing. Nobody does it anymore.
Everybody's wakeboarding these days, which looks like a blast.
I don't agree. I don't approve. I want water skiing invented right here in United.
And you want to
Minnesota.
ski only on 2 skis.
That's right. There's one ski
all
hot dog
bent over,
crap.
all bent over,
hanging out
arms,
like this.
arms straight,
A lot
head
of them
down.
are doing it with bare feet. I got nephews who do it barefoot.
Yeah.
I barefoot as a kid. It's no big deal.
Plus, you should have to have a beer in one hand.
One ski, one beer.
Well, I can corroborate that. Because when every summer Sunday, the Christian Brothers would come to our house. And that's when Brother Bus stayed back on the road and polished his bus.
Oh,
Yeah.
But the guys who went skiing had a beer in their hand.
Okay.
Wow.
I love this story. A 72-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of waving a gun at a high school dance in Arizona because he didn't like the loud music. Police in the small southeastern town of Thatcher say Robert Layton drove to the high school parking lot about 11:45 last Friday, started complaining about the music being too loud.
Are you reading the script from Footloose right now, John?
Witnesses say Layton pulled a 9mm handgun out of his pocket, waved it around in the air before pulling wires to disable the music at the dance. A DJ at the event wrestled Layton to the ground and disarmed him. Authorities said there were no bullets in the handgun.
Were they playing that rap stuff?
Probably, I guess.
That rap stuff.
Layton was
Take him to the reefer.
Layton was undergoing an evaluation at a hospital before being booked into jail. I should tell you guys, speaking of the rap stuff, the GL crew heard about Post Malone in an airplane where the wheels went out.
Is she down?
She's down. Everybody's good. Everybody's good.
All right.
That pilot.
Nobody got hurt.
I forgot to tell you this yesterday.
Okay.
So we got the little strip mall up the street.
All right.
And usually at 10:30, if you're driving by at 10:30 p.m. on a Saturday night, there's one car in a lot. It's the pizza man delivery guy waiting to see if somebody calls.
Right.
I'm driving by last Saturday by accident, and at 10:30, and there's 40 cars in the parking lot.
Really?
And I'm saying, what in the hell is going? The donut shop having an extra, So I drive I drive around, take a lap to see what's going on, and a bunch of young urban youth are getting out of cars and walking in what I thought was an empty storefront, because there used to be a vape store in there, and then there was a tattoo store
It's
in
a
there.
vape store, and they were at a rave, right?
And I look it up. It's a hookah lounge.
No.
Yeah.
Hookah.
Hookah, smoking tobacco.
Like smoking out a bagpipe or something.
Yeah, smoking.
Out of like a big octopus-like thing.
But what's the point of going through all that just for tobacco?
Well, I
mean,
think it's
what a-
camaraderie.
What a
Fellowship.
letdown.
Kenny, we don't all need mind
Other
altering.
youth who might want to meet one another of various sexes.
Lame hipsters.
All right,
They
here
are.
it's coming, folks. September 10th, the Joe and Royce Hookah Podcast.
Anyway, I was
Hey,
surprised.
pass the hose.
I have no problem.
Pack the ball.
I really could. I thought, wouldn't it be something if a 72-year-old bald guy walks in? You think that'd interrupt the vibe a little bit? What the hell are you doing in here?
Who's got the weed?
You're killing our vibe, old man.
I have what may be the weirdest, sickest story I've ever had here.
Oh, good.
That's saying
I
something.
really like the sick part.
In Pennsylvania, you're not going to like this sick
Okay.
part, trust me.
It doesn't involve large growths on humans.
Nope,
does it?
not
You
at all.
love
Nope.
those
Well, that's the
stories.
next story.
I don't like those large tumor stories. I don't like those.
I think you'll like a tumor story above this one. In Pennsylvania, 3 men are charged with having sex with at least 12 animals in Munson several times a week over the past 4 to 5 years.
All right.
Okay.
Full-fledged relationship.
What's the bad part?
Give us the rundown. It's
It
not,
might be a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I grew up in Murray County, so I'm not.
So you're used
So
to this?
this
what
is
you're
not
telling us?
this is not unusual then, huh?
Okay.
but
no,
it's a
what-
potpourri of animals. It's
Okay.
not
Oh,
just
it's-
one
yep.
lonely
Okay.
horse that hasn't been loved in years.
31-year-old Matthew Brubaker, 41-year-old
Sit up.
41-year-old Terry Wallace, and 34-year-old Mark Miesnikoff are accused of having sexual relations with at least 9 female horses, a cow, a goat, and dogs.
Oh, you good-looking thing.
So Animal Farm then.
Also,
Gone wild.
a teenage boy who lived on the property was also forced to assist the men by restraining the animals while they engaged in the act.
Where was this, John?
This is in Munson, Pennsylvania.
I'm going to stay away from there.
I told you, Chris. Chris, I warned you. I tried to warn you.
God.
Charges are...
They gave me like $3.
I always,
Hold him still, you little bastard!
here's the thought I always have. Here's the thought I always have with a story like this. What happens when you go to work on Monday?
Yeah.
After
Come
this
to
is
an
hit.
end.
After this.
How was
is
your
hit.
weekend?
You mean you see Bill?
No, after this is hit the
I
media,
see.
and you show up for work on Monday. I gotta think you're called to the boss's office.
Have you seen these 3, Patrick? They look like their moms didn't love them.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Trophy wife.
Yeah.
Maybe you try to blend in on Monday. Maybe stay away from the water cooler.
John, as we're winding her down here, we don't need any more animal husbandry.
Well, I do.
stories.
I think I do need to
finish it
tell you.
off?
I do need to tell you that
Hang
there's
on, sorry.
1,460 counts of sexual intercourse with
John,
an animal.
we're going to need you to make a promise to us. No more.
I'll
That's
try.
the very last one.
1,460 times? How do we know? Do we have videos?
Patrick, Don't buy into this.
Okay. All right.
Is this fake news?
We just
fake news.
Our point is we don't need to go to these lengths anymore. It's over here. Let's wrap this up on a high note.
We can
with
go
a little,
classy. You think we can go high class?
Well, it won't be high class, but just let's not go to these levels anymore.
Boy, we're
I don't wanna go too
taking
high.
lessons on class from Kenny. That's the whole point there. We have Andy Greeter from the Pioneer Press giving us an update on Gopher football. They named their starting quarterback yesterday, and the great Tom Kelly will be with us at 5 o'clock. So
I saw PJ interviewed about, is it Annexstad?
Annexstad, I believe, yeah.
And when he went to tell him you're going to be the starting quarterback, he expected great excitement, enthusiasm, and Annexstad just said, okay.
That's good. Yeah, well,
maybe he's got a cool head on his
calm
shoulders.
individual. Yes, he is not. He's a walk-on, and I think they're keeping him as a walk-on.
Didn't his dad play for the Gophers?
I believe he did, and I think they're keeping him as a walk-on because then they can say they have a walk-on quarterback. He's obviously has proven enough to get a scholarship, but they probably don't care about that. So. But he's a big, strong kid. Started at Mankato West, actually got hurt down there, and he spent his last year at the IMG Academy, International Management Group Academy down in Bradenton, Florida. And,
so he's not a true freshman.
I think that he would have been a senior in high school at IMG, so he is a true freshman. I think so. Yeah.
1500 ESPN is KSTP, St. Paul, Minneapolis. It's 71 degrees, and the Ride with Royce is up next.
To be your best every day, you need proven quality sleep every night. Science proves your best sleep is vital to your mental, emotional, and physical health. And that's where the Sleep Number bed comes in. And let me tell you, ever since I've had it, my sleep IQ score is just going higher and higher. And did you know 8 out of 10 couples say that one of them sleeps too hot or too cold? Science tells us regulating your sleep temperature leads to higher quality sleep. For many couples, temperature struggles are a real challenge. So here are some tips to help you both sleep just right. Look for beds designed with temperature benefits such as the new Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed that actively warms and cools each side so you both sleep blissfully comfortable. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number 360 Special Edition smart bed. Plus, special financing for a limited time. Only at Sleep Number stores or sleepnumber.com/podcast1. Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the National Football League. Subject to credit approval, minimum monthly payments required. See sleepnumber.com for details.